You ever hear about a place that just doesn't feel right? A house where people go missing, or worse, come out as someone else. That's Holloway House. And tonight, I'm going inside. I never believed in ghosts, not the way other people did. I believed in history, in trauma that lingers in the walls of a place, in the way certain buildings hold memories like a wound that never fully heals. That's what I thought I was walking into when I first heard about the Holloway House. It started with a missing person report, one that barely made the local news. A young man named Daniel Grayson had gone into the house on a dare and never came out. His friends swore they had waited outside, never saw him leave, but when the police searched the house, they found nothing. No signs of struggle, no body, just his phone, left on the dusty wooden floor, still recording an audio file that was nothing but static. Daniel wasn't the first. People had been disappearing inside Holloway House for decades. Some were found days later, wandering aimlessly in the woods nearby, unable to recall how they got there. Others were never seen again. I told myself that this was a mystery waiting to be solved, that I would go in, document everything, and come out with the truth. I was wrong. The house sat on the edge of town, abandoned yet untouched, as if waiting. The structure was old but not decayed. No boarded windows, no graffiti, no signs of trespassing, just an empty home that no one wanted to claim. The silence hit me the moment I stepped onto the porch. No wind, no distant hum of insects. My own footsteps felt unnaturally loud. I recorded my first entry into my digital recorder, March 14th. Entering the Holloway House at 9:12 p.m., locals refused to talk about it. Official reports are inconsistent. But something happened here. I intend to find out what. The door creaked open easily, as if inviting me in. The air inside was heavy, carrying the scent of old wood and something faintly metallic. The wallpaper had peeled in places, revealing deep cracks along the walls. This floated in the dim light of my flashlight, but something felt off. I walked into the living room, where an old couch sat untouched. A coffee table still held a few family photographs, their faces blurred as if time had erased them. I checked my recorder. It was still running, but when I played it back, my voice was distorted, and beneath it, barely audible, was a whisper. A whisper that sounded like me. Go back. I felt something shift in the air. Not a sound, not a movement, just an awareness. The kitchen was next. Cabinets slightly ajar, an old refrigerator standing like a relic from another time. I took a few steps inside when I noticed the floor had changed. The footprints. I had walked through a layer of dust, but my footprints weren't the only ones. Another set trailed behind me, bare feet, smaller than mine. I turned sharply, shining my flashlight across the room. Nothing. Just empty space. I exhaled, pressing my fingers to my temple. You're imagining things. The stairs led up into darkness. I hesitated, then forced myself to move forward. My footsteps felt swallowed by the silence. Halfway up, I turned and looked back at the entrance. The front door was gone. The hallway stretched longer than it should have, the walls seeming to close in. I reached the master bedroom, pushing the door open with a slow creak. The mirror across the room caught my attention immediately. That was the first time I saw my reflection, standing a half-second too late. I froze. My own reflection stared back at me, but something was wrong. I lifted my hand. It lifted its hand, but slower. A delay. I tilted my head. It did the same, but not perfectly. My heartbeat slammed against my ribs. I took a step closer. It took a step closer. Then it smiled. I hadn't smiled. The breath left my lungs. My skin went ice cold. I took a slow step backward, and my reflection, no, the thing inside the mirror, didn't follow. It just stood there, Smiling, I turned and ran. I ran down the hallway, my pulse hammering in my ears. The walls felt closer, the air thicker. The floorboards beneath me groaned as if they were breathing. I reached the stairs and stopped. Someone was standing at the bottom. No, something was standing there. A silhouette, just barely visible in the dim light. It was my height, my build, but it stood unnaturally still. I swallowed hard, gripping my flashlight. Think. I took a slow step forward. So did it. I raised my flashlight. The beam hit the empty staircase. The figure was gone. But when I turned back toward the hallway, I saw it again, standing in the mirror at the end of the corridor. It wasn't just mimicking me anymore. It was watching me. I forced myself to move. I had to get out. I rushed down the stairs, through the living room, toward the front door. Except there was no front door. Just a blank wall where it had been. I spun around. My breath came in sharp gasps. The house had changed. The walls stretched higher. The furniture seemed older, as if time had warped around me. Then I heard it, a whisper. "Don't leave." It was my own voice. I turned slowly. The voice came from the recorder in my pocket. The device was still running, but when I played it back, it wasn't my past recordings. It was me, speaking in real time. But I hadn't said anything. "Stay with us." The voice on the recorder laughed. A slow, distorted version of my own laughter. And then, in the distance, down the darkened hallway, footsteps, not mine. I backed up, pressing myself against the wall. My breath was ragged. A figure emerged from the hallway shadows. It was me. Same face, same clothes, but its head was tilted too far to the side, its lips stretched into a wide, unnatural smile. It moved wrong, like it was still learning how to walk. I wanted to scream, but no sound came out. The thing raised its hand and waved at me. Then it spoke. "Why are you running?" The voice was mine, but wrong. The cadence was off, the tone hollow. I grabbed the nearest object, a chair, and threw it. The wood splintered as it crashed into the wall, but when I looked back, the figure was gone. But I knew it wasn't really gone. It was somewhere inside the house, waiting. I ran. I didn't know where I was going, only that I had to move. The hallway stretched longer, twisting in impossible ways. The room shifted, doors appearing where they hadn't been before. Finally, I found one door that was slightly open, light seeping through the cracks. I stepped inside. It was a child's bedroom. Dusty toys littered the floor. The bed was unmade. The walls were covered in old, crayon-drawn pictures. Stick figures. One of them looked like me. I stepped closer, heart pounding. The drawing showed a progression, first a house, then a man entering, then that same man standing in a mirror, then nothing. The last drawing was just a blank page. I turned and saw it, the mirror, and standing inside it, the reflection that wasn't mine anymore. It grinned, and it stepped forward. The lights flickered. My reflection, my replacement, was now standing outside the mirror, staring at me. I backed away. My chest tightened with pure terror. The figure raised a hand and touched its own face, as if testing its new body. Then it spoke. "It's okay." My voice. "You can stay here now." No, I lunged for the door. But the moment I touched the doorknob, everything went black. Silence, not unconsciousness, just absence. For a moment, I felt like I was floating in a void. Then I heard footsteps and a voice. March 16th, entering the Holloway house at 9:12 p.m. My voice, but I wasn't speaking. I tried to scream, but I had no voice anymore. I was inside the mirror, and my replacement was walking out the front door. Weeks later, another journalist came looking for me. They found my recorder. They played back the last recording, and in the static, they heard my voice. "Go back. But it was too late. The house was already watching them too. If you found a house that could imitate you, would you step inside? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this terrifying tale, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, because more horror stories are coming your way. Sleep well if you can.